I just got back in from North Dakota on Thursday, on Turkey Day. Just came swooping in time to get home for Turkey Day, and then I've been in meetings ever since then. I'm just stepped out of a meeting now. I'm down in Los Angeles in the process of getting donations to support the taking of the depositions. We've been granted authorization to take depositions from the Tiger Swan, a private military corporation, and from Energy Transfer Partners. We're the first one of the 847 cases of people that are being prosecuted up in North Dakota. So that we're representing, as people know, Chase Iron Eyes, who is the 2016 National Democratic Party nominee for Congress in North Dakota. He is the only person that's charged now with inciting the insurrection against the state of North Dakota and defying the state authorities who are coming in ordering all the native people off their own property to allow the pipeline to be built through their directly under their sole source of water. We have gotten the judge in this case to have authorized us to undertake an aggressive program of discovery. And so we've got 50 major depositions that are scheduled. So we're in the process now of fundraising for them. We want to be able to videotape these depositions, and we have to hire a professional stenographic company from North Dakota that's licensed by the court to take these depositions, these sworn depositions. So we're involved in doing that right now. I'm getting set to fly back out Monday at the top of the week to fly back to North Dakota. We're issuing the subpoenas all during December here to begin taking the depositions in January. And so it's a major breakthrough that none of the other cases have gotten the scale of discovery that we're being authorized to undertake. So we have to do this in a very thorough and responsible manner. We're bringing in 4 or 5 additional lawyers to help us do these depositions. And I'll be doing the major depositions, but we have a number of ancillary depositions we need to do from various police agencies. There were 72 different police agencies from 6 different states that were brought into North Dakota to participate in these major attacks against the opponents of the pipeline. So we're engaged in that process right now. This is going to be a major turn of events in the cases. As you know, I've reported earlier that of the 847 cases, of the 847 cases, over 400 of them have already been dismissed or acquitted. But they're still continuing to insist on prosecuting the remaining 400 in some. So that process is going on. Those are primarily one-day trials that result in the acquittal of each of the defendants. Our case is going to be a 3 to 4 week case against Chase Iron Eyes. We have another one following that for Holy Elk Lafferty. These are going to be the 2 primary cases that have been litigated. And we are the ones that are going to be challenging the sovereignty of the land, that this is land that was never ceded by the Lakota people to the United States. The United States has never lawfully acquired title to the property. They think that they had the right to sell the property to the Dakota Access Pipeline, but they did not. And so our people had a right to be on the property. And we're claiming that as a defense. And we're also asserting the affirmative defense of necessity on the grounds that the pipeline was moved from its original route that they had planned to have it 10 miles north of the 92% white community of Bismarck, North Dakota. And because of the objections of the white community due to the threat to their water up there, they moved the pipeline down to 1/2 mile from the 82% Native American reservation, the Standing Rock Reservation. So that, and as people probably know, now just 2 weeks ago, there was a huge spill from the Keystone pipeline. The same people that are putting in this other pipeline, that they had a massive spill of 210,000 gallons of crude oil was spilled from that pipeline after they'd made all the exact same promises to those people that was a totally safe pipeline. There was no chance it was going to leak. It's the same type of construction that's being put under the sole source of fresh drinking water for the Lakota people. And so that CBS National News is in there now reporting on that. We've been giving interviews to people about this, basically saying, we told you so. This is exactly what we were warning everybody about. That particular leak has occurred out on the high plains, 100 miles from the Standing Rock Sioux Reservation, out by the Sisseton Reservation. But this Dakota Access Pipeline has been built right under the Lake Oahe, and directly under the Missouri River. So if a leak occurs there, this pipeline puts out 910,000 gallons per hour coming through this pipeline under super high pressure. And the safety mechanisms on the pipeline are not even able to discern a spill of less than 1%. And so there could be 9,100 gallons of oil every single hour leaking from this pipeline up into the lake where they get their drinking water, and they wouldn't even know it. So this is a preposterous situation. It's part of many different preposterous things that are going on with regard to the Trump administration that we all know about. But one of the principal travesties of the entire Trump administration, as you know, is the dedication to the petroleum industry, with the Secretary of State, Rex Tillerson, being the 40-year official of the Exxon Mobil and the CEO of Exxon Mobil, and Rick Perry, who is appointed to be the Secretary of Energy, is a partner in Sunoco Logistics. Sunoco is one of the partners of Energy Transfer Partners. They're all, and they were official owners and part of this pipeline. Both of them, Donald Trump and Rick Perry. And so this preposterous development of having the entire government at the beck and call of the petroleum industry has now manifested itself in the most stark way up in North Dakota. And they've now brought in the Justice Department to try to prosecute a number of the Lakota people under federal charges now as well. And the Water Protectors Legal Collective up there is representing those 5 Native American people. Our Lakota People's Law Office is representing Chase Iron Eyes, who, as I said, is the sole person charged with instigating the insurrection against the pipeline. They're threatening to put him in prison for 6 years and to take away his license to practice law. And Holyoke Lafferty, they're charging her with criminal trespassing, felony trespassing on the property, her own property. So this is the status of the thing. The thing has now transmuted into the discovery process of our taking the depositions against them. We've been able to now mount what amounts to a counter-offensive, where we can now get on the offensive and attack and drag them in for depositions and sworn testimony, and forcing them to cough up internal documents showing that their computers told them that the best place to build the pipeline was this place 10 miles north of the 92% white community of Bismarck, but they in fact instead chose to build it a half a mile from the 82% Native American reservation. This is clearly a violation of the Federal Civil Rights Act. This is racial discrimination. The reason they're building the pipeline there is because they believe that the Lakota people are less people Therefore, any spill into their drinking water is less harmful in some peculiar way than contaminating the water of the white people. So that's the status that we're in right now. There's a couple other major developments that have occurred since I talked to you last. That turns out that there's a decision has been made now to do a major 4-part, a 4-hour mini-series on the Iran-Contra case. It's the 30th anniversary of Iran-Contra in the special prosecutor coming on board in December of 1987. And in December of 1986, it came on. And so that we're now into the 30th anniversary of this. So that is going, we believe it's going to be PBS is going to do that. And there's also, they're in the process of signing a contract to do a documentary, another 4-hour documentary on Silkwood, Silkwood 2, to actually tell what happened to Karen Silkwood. Because everybody knows at the end of the movie, Silkwood, it ended right at the point where they showed that Karen Silkwood had been killed. Her car had been rammed and run off the road, and she was killed. And so this is going to be a documentary on the investigation and the revelation of who it is that did it to her. So there've been those developments since I talked to you last, and I'm sort of just actively focused right now on getting these discovery depositions done. Plus, another good thing is our offices, the Romero Institute, as you know, which is based in Santa Cruz, California, has just been now offered the entire second floor of the former high school, the Santa Cruz the Holy Cross High School at the Holy Cross mission. For our offices for the Green Power Project. We have succeeded now in getting the Catholic bishop of the Monterey Diocese to authorize financing the putting of solar panels on all of the Catholic churches in the entire 3-county area in California, Central California. And we've gotten now access to 100% renewable resources, so that we're going to be shifting over every single one of the clients of PG&E, the Pacific Gas and Electric Company, that is producing their electricity through burning coal and petroleum and fracking natural gas. That's all going to be replaced by completely 100% sustainable energy through solar energy, through the putting of the solar panels on the churches, and also the geothermal and the hydraulic, electro-hydraulic energy. So we're going to be removing over 1 billion pounds of potential global greenhouse gas emissions over the next 10 years in the 3-county area. And we've just opened our operation down in San Diego, and we're now working to get San Diego County to come on board with the community choice energy. And that when we succeed there, that's going to be removing 1 billion pounds of carbon per year from going into the atmosphere. So we're working now at trying to get the community choice energy company set up in every one of the counties in all of California, and then move up to Oregon and to Washington State, so that we can have the entire West Coast be on completely sustainable electric power. So those are the things we're doing. The issue of the extraterrestrial stuff, that again I've pointed out before that I'm kind of inundated on this stuff working with the Dakota Access Pipeline and the green power thing, trying to deal with the global climate change issue. But we just had a meeting last night down here in LA with the people who are going to be doing a major motion picture about John Mack, and in telling the entire story of John Mack and his confrontation with the Harvard Medical School and Harvard University, when back in 1994 they dragged Dr. Mack in front of a Harvard faculty committee and tried to basically chill him, to stop him from going on television talking about the book that he had released called Abduction, A Human Contact with Extraterrestrials. And so they've now said they've gotten the initial contract to fund the writing of the script. So we had a major script consultation last night with the script writer and the producer for the movie, laying out the history of the confrontation at Harvard. So that they're in the process now of drafting up the screenplay to get that done. They're talking about a 2-hour major motion picture that they're planning to produce now about this confrontation. So that's the most recent event that has happened on the ET front since I talked to you last. But that's a big one. This has been going on for some time, trying to figure out whether they were going to get to do this motion picture about Dr. Mack and what happened to him at Harvard University, and how we basically pushed back the Harvard faculty from potentially terminating John Mack unless he agreed to stop going on television talking about the fact that he believed that the extraterrestrial experience that people were having was real in a very important sense, and that the Harvard University was outraged at the fact that he was participating in that. So that's the broad fronts on which I'm working right now, and so that I just wanted to bring you all up to date on that since we talked last.